Hello everyone, welcome to the Calgary Language Learning and Exchange Club video channel. In this video, I am going to show you the ultimate guide to Fabricate Time for language learning. So, if you are living in Calgary and you want to learn English or other languages, and also wanting to have a conversation partner to do proper language exchange, please join our group. Our Facebook page, the link is in the YouTube description below, as well as that the registration form for our group is within that Facebook page. And it's free. So if you are in Calgary and you are also learning languages in general, please join our group, and we would make sure that you would have the best experience by finding you a conversation partner and making sure that your language learning is a success. Are you too busy? We all know that language learning takes time, and it's hard to make time for it because we all have work, school, family, relationships, and all of it takes time. But if you need to learn or want to learn a language, you need to make time for it, because we're not in the world in which we have a technology to just plug in a computer chip in your brain and you could suddenly work like Google Translate. It just doesn't work like that. Your brain needs to absorb these knowledge slowly until your brain is comfortable into using these knowledge to convert into the new language that you want to acquire. So how are we going to have time for language learning if we have so many things to worry about in our lives? I believe that where there is a will, there is a way. And I am here in this video to show you the way. The first thing that you should do is keep track of everything in your calendar. No matter if it's for work, for school, for family, or for your significant other, you should allocate appropriate time to all of your tasks. Now, if you set up all of those times, you would probably see that there are some openings in your schedule. Note those openings, and if possible, assign those time for your language learning. And even better, make that as a routine. I know that, and it is understandable, that sometimes you just can't follow your calendar 100%. But make sure you note that down in your calendar when you cannot fulfill your task in language learning during those periods that you have set in your calendar. And you also write down on your calendar ways that you should make up for it, for those time lost for language learning. The point of that exercise is to keep yourself disciplined in learning that language. Now, once you know about these opening times in your calendar, how can you make the most out of your time? Now, research says to usually divide your time into 25 to 30-minute intervals. Now, I'm going to tell you that do what you can, because even 5 to 10 minutes would help. So as long as you have an opening, you can do this. And how what you're going to do in these intervals or the openings in your calendar is you should list out the task that you want to accomplish for language learning or for any other things in your life, such as in your work or in your school. For instance, if you are at work and you're working on a project, you should actually break that project into smaller tasks, and you should actually list those tasks in your, even better is most of your work time you probably have Outlook. So now use Outlook to write down those tasks in a specific period block in your Outlook, and then try to do those tasks during that time. And how we're going to do that is you should in those in those intervals be immerse yourself in those tasks with absolutely no interruptions. So for example, when you're learning a language or when you're working or when you're at school doing your homework, you should turn off your cell phone. uh, don't do stuff like looking at YouTube or looking at the comic books or talking with friends, etc. Don't be sidetracked. Instead, be totally 100% focused on those tasks, because when you do that, you would be sure that you maximize your time, and so that you could squeeze more time to do other stuff such as language learning. One of the big things that I want to tell you that you could make most out of your time in these language learning periods is to hire yourself a tutor for those periods, or chat with your language exchange partners during those periods. That way, it would actually help you to practice that language. Or you could use Memrise to practice vocabulary or even read a chapter in your textbook. The thing is, it doesn't matter. The only thing is, you need to focus on it and you need to do something. And if we follow this, having no interruptions with even other parts of your life, especially with work and school, like doing your homework or doing projects at work, you can actually free up more time for you to do language learning. And the third thing is you should immerse yourself in the language that you desired to learn. For instance, using audiobooks, listening to it while driving, or when you're at the gym is actually very, very good way to learn a language without interfering with your other schedule. Also, in some work areas, such as if you're working in a cubicle, you could also listen to an audiobook for language learning while you are doing your work. Another thing that you could do is you could change the regional language on your cell phone and computer to match the language that you are learning. That way you could become comfortable with that language. Now, you could also uh, make that language as part of your life by, like, let's say replacing some of those tasks that in which you normally would write it down in your with your native language, but instead now you could use the language that you're learning to do it, such as writing a grocery list. Now, the last thing that I want to tell you is you should watch TV and read more books in that language. And of course, you need some sort of beginning foundation in order to do that. But watching TV and especially reading books would actually give you more motivation, and it would actually uh, um, uh, uh, make you succeed in learning that language faster. I know for a fact with myself that my language learning journey, I wouldn't be able to reach the level that I'm reaching for some of the languages, um, if not I'm fully immersed with it, because I like watching TV and read books in that language. So by reading more literature, listening to that, and watching TV in that language, you can actually improve your ability in that language by tenfold. So make sure that you are trying your best to be immersed in it. And this concludes my video. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please join our club if you're in Calgary, because we would be hosting events as well as finding you a compatible language partner, all with well cost. It's just my hobby and I'm just here to help you out. Also, if you like my videos, please subscribe to our channel. I would be posting various um, updates and info regarding language learning. Thank you. Bye bye.